Hi, my name is Elber. In this class, we talk about allowance and management reserve. To do it, we are supported at AAC, PMI, and GAO. First, what's the definition of allowance? Resources included in estimate to cover the cost of known but undefined requirements for an individual activity, work item, account, or subaccount. For example, when you are estimating an industrial plant, you know that there are many screws. However, sometimes you don't have time to count all screws. In this case, you can estimate tubes, valves, or irons, and in the end, you add 2 or 3% of the cost of tubulation discipline to cover the screws. This percentage are called allowance. Second, what's the definition of management reserve? It may include amounts that are within the defined scope, but for which management doesn't want to consider as a contingency. For example, there is a risk that the organization knows it, but they don't want to contingency it, so if it occurs, they will use the management reserve. In the same way, if a risk occurs and the companies don't know, they don't have a contingency for it. In this case, they need to use the management reserve. Now we will compare difference between allowance and contingency. First, allowance is a percentage that is added when you are doing a cost estimate, and it's included in the base estimate. However, contingency is a percentage that's added after the base estimate is concluded. Another point is that allowance is related to scope. It means that allowance is part of the scope, that is, it will be executed, built. For example, the screws will be assembled. On the other hand, contingency is related to risks and uncertainties, that is, this is not included in the scope of the work. Next difference is that allowance will be 100% consumed. However, contingency could be used. There is a possibility that contingency will not be 100% used. For example, if some risks don't occur. The last point is about applicability. The allowance is applicable to a detailed estimate. In this case, you shouldn't use it to a conceptual estimate. For contingencies, you can apply it to a detailed estimate or to a conceptual estimate. So, you can apply it for all project phases. Now, we'll compare the difference between management reserve and contingencies. First, contingencies is included in the project baseline. In contrast, management reserves over the baseline. The next difference is that management reserve is for portfolio management. It is for a group of projects, but contingency is for a unique project. There's a direct correlation between project and contingency. For example, in this picture, there are 3 projects and a specific contingency for each one. Furthermore, there is an amount of management reserve for all projects. It is possible that only project B uses the management reserve and project A and C will not use it. Last point is about management responsibility. According to PMI, the project manager can manage contingencies. However, to use the management reserve, it's necessary a procedure to authorize the use of it by an organization. To conclude in this picture, there is a resume of these concepts. When allowance is added to the estimate, it will compound the base estimate and increase the probability of not exceeding the cost of the project. After that, when the contingency is added, the probability of the cost of the project to be maintained in the baseline increases too. In the same way, when the management reserves is included, the likelihood increases more. Thank you for your attention. If you have any doubts, please send an email.